Good morning, boys and girls. It's Monday, the 18th of February, 2019. A warm welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom talk. Indeed, it only seems like a few hours since we were together. Oh, we were. Thank you very much to those of you that joined us for our late night show last night, which was around about, I think it was around about 10 o'clock last night. 9:30, 10 o'clock. We had a few phone calls coming in last night as well. A couple of people asking for a regular Sunday night show, which is possible. So we'll see if I can fit one of those in on a Sunday or something like that. All right. I've turned the heating off. It's incredibly warm. I'm having terrible trouble sleeping at the moment the last few nights. I don't know why. I'm not particularly uncomfortable in bed. I'm not like over hot, although I do seem to be waking up hot. I don't feel any illness at all. I'm very, very relaxed. Does anyone do this? Like when you're in the living room and you've got the telly on, you're on your own probably. I can't see sort of couples doing this. You're on your own in the living room, the telly's on, and it's very quiet. And you just pause the telly or you turn the telly off and you just sit there or lie there if you're on one of those fallback chairs, what are they called? You know, those ones that go back and the legs go up. If you're on one of those, and I just sit there like that, staring blankly out into space or at the wallpaper, which I can do for several minutes at a time, sort of feeling completely calm and completely at peace with oneself. Does anyone else do that? Isn't that strange? The last couple of years, I've become more and more calm. I know you probably don't believe that watching this morning, but it's true. I just feel incredibly calm sometimes. So turn the heating off this morning and I'll see how I get on with that. I think it's going to be quite cold tonight, so I'll probably turn it on so it comes on when I get back from work a little bit late last night. And after the show, I went downstairs. I played a bit on me keyboard, me organ downstairs, because I'm playing the organ at church next week in Wokingham. I'm doing the 11 o'clock mass next week. It's the first time I've played at church for a long time, and I'm very nervous about hitting wrong notes. The organ at church is very different to my keyboard. You see, my keyboard downstairs, which has an organ on it, and it's like a proper sized piano, you know, with weighted keys, it's got a sustain on it. Now, that means when you go if you've got the sustain pedal down, when you go from one note to the other, it kind of joins the two together. A little bit like that. You see, it's all joined together. Whereas if there's no sustain, you can bet a little bit jumpy if you come off the keys a little bit too fast. Like that. Now, the one at the church doesn't have a sustain, so I've got to modify my playing so that my fingers stay on the notes a little bit longer than they would do here. Otherwise, it sounds a little bit like that, a little bit like jumpy. So I'm kind of having to relearn myself. I used to play the organ at church, no problem at all. And I remember as a young man, 19, 20 years old, I used to go and play this organ at church, and I'd go in there completely unnervous. Mind you, I think that's a young man thing, isn't it? You know, walking around like you own the place. Do you know what I mean? Like you're God's gift to everything. Were you like what older men are watching the show today and know exactly what I'm talking about? And this goes right the way through your 20s and early 30s. And then when you get to about 40, you start calming down. Unless you haven't made it in life, and then you get to 40 and you start making it very uncomfortable for everyone else because you haven't quite made it yet. Huh? But I used to walk in there, not worry if I don't think I ever hit a wrong note. Now, I'm terrified. You know, because there are certain things in this world that you would notice if someone made a mistake. For example, if perhaps one or two of you might be going in for a minor operation tomorrow, you know, I don't know, to have a toe chopped off or a lung removed, something like that, and you go into hospital and you wake up the next day, we're ever so sorry, Mr. Smith, we've accidentally removed the wrong lung, but you should be okay. I mean, you would notice that. You would notice that. If a bar person wasn't working at a certain pub during the week and there were another 5 bar people there, you wouldn't notice that they were missing. You see the difference. Similarly, in a large orchestra, I suppose if you've got a string section and one person hit a wrong note on the violin, you probably wouldn't notice it. if I hit the wrong note on Sunday morning on the organ and I play loud, we're not having none of these soft tunes, dear, played like they're at a funeral. No, we need to play loud and at a reasonable speed. If I hit that wrong note, everyone in there, I can hear the tuts now. I can hear the tuts. So I'm practicing it at the moment. So I did that last night after I finished the show. And then I watched the new excellent TV series, just started on BBC One Colour last night. Baptiste, Julien Baptiste, which is about this French detective. And the story this time appears to be a young girl, an uncle who is searching for his niece who has disappeared. Now his niece it's either France or Amsterdam. I'm having trouble working out where it is. And he's gone over there, and he usually goes over there every few weeks to check that she's all right. She has got into prostitution. So that's what she does. But she's also, it turns out, towards the end of it also turns out she's got into drugs as well and owes money. So she skipped to Germany. So they're trying to find them, and Jean Baptiste has gone to help him. He is like a retired detective, and he's assisting them. It looks like he's doing it for nothing as well. And they get together and they're asking questions and things like that. Good program, Baptiste. But once again, I'm having trouble hearing the dialogue. I don't know why. If I switch to my television's, it's a flat screen thing. If I switch to my television's own speaker system, it's okay. I can hear it. I can hear the voices okay. It's when I switch to my sound bar. And 1 minute it's loud, then it's quiet. Then and you turn it up a bit to hear it a bit better. And then this music comes in and shakes the entire house. I don't know what it is with that. Now, my mate has got exactly the same soundbar, Panasonic. Okay, it's got a little valve in it, a little valve that lights up in the middle. That's why I bought it. It looked good. And it's got a little valve in the middle that lights up, and his does exactly the same. We can't hear the bloody dialogue. And to be fair, it's not only that program, it's a lot of programs that I put on, and you can hear the background noises. It's coming out of you really loud, and you can't hear the dialogue in the middle of it all. What are they saying? We have to wind back a little bit. Blooming pain. I think my nephew has also, it's either my nephew or my sister that have got, I think it's my nephew's one. He's got a sound bar as well. Can't think of what that one is. It's not the same model as mine. And he has the same problem as well. 1 minute the sound is loud, then it's quiet again. Can't work it out. My sister has a sound bar, and that one is okay. So maybe I should just go out and buy one. Or I think I might purchase a surround system next time. You know where you got the speakers in front and behind? Now, my niece has got one of those. Well, I say she's got one of those. It's all packed up at the moment, ready to go to Cyprus. But she's got one of those. It's the second lot they've had. So you've got the speakers at the front there. I think there's a big one on the bass bin on the ground level and a couple behind. I hear everything perfectly in that house. I cannot hear the blooming dialogue. It must be something to do with sound bars. And I've tried all these different settings, cinema, news, drama, music, all the same. Can't hear the dialogue. Most annoying. But there we are. So do give that one a watch. Baptiste on BBC One Colour. Also now on the BBC iPlayer. All right, I'll come to your messages in a second, boys and girls. The children, I think a lot of the children are on half term this week. So if you're someone that likes to go up to a swimming pool or have a nice quiet time walking around your local branch of Waitrose, no chance. No, no chance at all. You'll be in that pool, and small people. Do you know they are actually small people, children? I didn't know that. Children are actually small people. I know, it's funny when you see what they get up to and all that. Can't be a real person. Yes, it's an actual person. I thought they were little aliens that came across now and again during the daytimes and generally disappeared at night. But in London, they have nighttime children. Have you seen those? Nighttime children at night. Little people running around on their bikes at 2 o'clock in the morning, around about 10 years old. Believe me, I've seen that. I've seen little children on their bikes in the middle of the night cycling through London. God knows where their parents are. Probably drugged up in a house somewhere like that. I don't know. So be aware, boys and girls. Be on your guard when you go out later. Small people, known as children, are running amok. They'll be up by now. They get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I know that. My niece has got some. When the first time I met my great nieces and great nephews, I thought, well, wonder where they got these from. I didn't know. They are actual small people. Did you know that? And they get up at 6 o'clock in the morning at my niece's house. And I said, well, what do they do at that time? They find things to do. Like wake up mummy and nanny. My sister Nanny. Children are on half term, okay? Right, shall we do some messages? Here we go, gang. Let's start on YouTube for a change this morning. Don't forget, you can text in a message. If you're watching on Periscope, I'm afraid your messages don't get as far as me. They just don't get to me, so you'll have to text in. The text in number is 07551 259 675. 07551 259 675. I don't always read all the messages. Sometimes there's just too many to get through. Sometimes some of them get missed. So bear with us there, okay? But over on YouTube this morning, first message of the day from Paul and Lou in Birmingham. Good morning to you two. The lovely Claire is there. Good morning, Claire. Have you fully recovered now, Claire? She has had a bit of a coldy, fluey thing been hanging around for a while, hasn't it? Hope you're feeling better, Claire. We're missing you on Fridays at the moment, dear. All right. JP is in the house in Singapore. Good morning, JP. Have you missed anything? No, you've never missed anything, John. Nothing happens here. Nothing happens here at all, I'm afraid. All right. Reloading our video. Is this a video that you've done, Paul and Lou? Have you done a video yourself? Reloading our video as YouTube advised the file is too big. Oh. Oh, really? Oh, sorry, that's John. JP. Well, how big is the YouTube video that you're trying to load in there, John? You might have to... I'm surprised at that. I'm surprised at that. Did you perhaps put it through some sort of editor or something like that? I've never ever had a video file refused by YouTube. Strange, isn't it? I have heard this before. Sometimes people say the videos are too long. How is the video? How long is the video? Don't know. I suppose... I mean, you could play it. What you could do, if you can get it onto a computer, is play it live. Or you'd need some software to do that, I think. Play it as a live video, and then YouTube records it at their end, you see, in the correct format, and then it goes up there as a recording afterwards. I don't know why you're having trouble with that. Oh, that's a shame, isn't it? Over on Facebook Live, a very good morning to the delightful Shania. Good morning, Shania. All right, Shania. Katie Ann Patterson is there. Good morning, Katie. Shania says, enjoying a nice lie-in this morning as I have a week off work. Well, I hope I'm not in bed with you, Shania. That's wrong. Don't tell your dad, for God's sake. He'd go mad. Or the priest come to that. I hope I'm not in bed. There's something very wrong about men sleeping with women in bed, Shania. I'm sorry. I think that's a very sick thing. I really do. It's not natural, dear. Keep me above those covers. And don't fart while I'm in that bed. Oh, we got the monkey here. We need to name the monkey today. I'm going to give you a choice of 3 names. We were doing that last night and I forgot to do it at the end. I'm going to give you a choice of 3 names for the monkey and I'd like you to vote on your favourite one, okay? Morning to Ray Reynolds. Morning, Ray, who'll be down the karaoke tonight. Hello to Michael Pullman. You were there last night as well. You're always there, Michael. Always there in sunny Australia, where it's night time now, of course. Good morning to Craig McKenzie. Good morning. God morning. God moaning, he says. God moaning. Morning, Craig. Carolis. Very good morning. Aye, man. Hello. I like that. Aye. Aye. Good morning, Cariolos. I think your first time here today, so welcome to our show. Craig says, Chris, it's not strange. It's a great thing to do. We need calm time. It's good for the soul. And Katie says it's moderation. And it is calm time. I'm very, very, very calm these days when I'm not on here. You know, I don't think I put anything on to sit here. This is just me. But there's like a mad me, which I'm in at the moment. and there's a very calm meet, and there's not much in between. I can go from there to there. I'm sure that's something to do with depression. I don't know, is it really? I'm either up there or there. I don't go down. I don't get depressed, not anymore anyway. But I'm either up there or down there. Shania has perfect pitch, so I would notice if someone hit the wrong notes. I reckon you would, Shania. I reckon you would. And you'd probably be you'll be up those stairs, wouldn't you, where the organ is? I'd hear little footsteps. Chris, you've hit the wrong note again. That sounds like Norman Wisdom, doesn't it? Mr. Grimsdale. Something like that. I was listening to Nick Abbot on the radio on Friday night. A whole hour without mentioning Brexit, and it was good again. Nick Abbot is someone I used to love him on the radio until he became totally and utterly obsessed with Donald Trump and Brexit, and that's all he ever talks about. Well, he did an entire hour on Friday night where he didn't mention either, and he was hilarious and funny like he used to be, so hopefully he'll go back a bit that way as he used to be, because he's got a little bit too serious and very, very left-wing, dear. Very left-wing. Very left-wing. Good morning to Diane Jeb. Hello, Diane. Craig says, I've been known to play with my organ too. Oh, what make have you got? Mine is a Yamaha. Ah, Yamaha. I have a Yamaha. That's really racist. No, it's not. No, it's not. Did I say I hate people from another country? No, I didn't. It's a Yamaha. A Yamaha organ. Good morning to Keith George, who's in Beverly Hills. We have a large contingent of people, stars actually, that watch this programme, hoping to pick up the odd tip from me. Good morning, Keith. What are you doing there? Are you working in Beverly Hills? Actually, someone else I know is in Jason Prince and someone called DJ Ollie or something like that. I think they're over in Hollywood or something like that at the moment doing some video stuff. I'm not quite sure what it is. I don't suppose I'll ever be invited. Perhaps I could do a chat show. Chris Ridden, friend to the stars. You may know my personal friends already. Linda Gray from Dallas. Well, one of my personal friends, dear. I met her for about 23 seconds about 5 years ago, and we are now personal friends. I think she's a little bit too busy to keep ringing me up, and she's never actually rung me, but I'm sure she's got my number, and she likes to know. I'm sure it's in the back of her mind that if she ever needs anyone to talk to, I am there waiting. Linda Gray, Sue Ellen. What do you mean who? Sue Ellen, dear, from Dallas. Dallas. What do you mean who? Young people are saying who? Oh, never mind. It doesn't matter. You haven't lived until you've seen an episode of Dallas. I'll tell you that now. Hello to the delightful Kathy Conquest Forsyth Smith. I love your name. Morning to you. What hymns will you do on Sunday? Don't know yet, Shania. They get chosen and selected from me. For me. They get chosen and selected by one of the important people. One of the important people who do the 9 o'clock mass. You see, and that is selected sort of Wednesday or Thursday, and I'll get an email telling me what they are. And but Father has already told me if there's any that I don't think I can do, to simply change them. That is what Father David told me to do, which is interesting because the email that came from the important person at the 9 o'clock mass said to me, Father likes to keep the same hymns, so here they are. Oh, really? He's already told me that if there's anything that might be a bit too difficult, then to simply change them and change the numbers on the board. So I don't know. I will let you know, Shania. Should know by Thursday, I hope, which gives me a little bit of a time to practice. I'm hoping to go down to the church as well one afternoon and practice them on their organ, because it's very different to mine, you see. And the keys aren't... Do you know what I mean by weighted keys? You know an old piano where you have to really kind of push down the... I mean, you don't have to push them down hard, but they're weighted. So when you've got to give them a little bit of pressure. On an organ, there's no weight, unless it's a really old-fashioned one. The really old-fashioned ones, church organs, pipe organs, were the keys were not electric. So when you push down one of the notes, okay, a series of levers and metal rods would take that push down, move it up there, and there'd be a little flap on one of the pipes. And as you push that down, you would open the flap to the pipe and it would play the note. That's how it used to be. Nowadays, of course, all electric. There was like a halfway where they became wired. So you'd push down the key, and an electrical signal through a pair of wires would go to that same flap and open and close it. Nowadays, they're all electric. There are no pipes, there's no wind or anything like that. My old church, St. Joseph's in Roehampton, that had the sort of midway version. So you push the keys fairly softly, no pressure to push down. You just touched them and they went down. And that was wired into pipes. And also these old wind organs had a compressor, pushing out air all the time. And this particular one in Roehampton, it was ever so noisy, but it was in another room, so you couldn't hear it. And I think it had something wrong with it, because if you hit a large chord, with say 1, 2, 3, 4, with 6 notes and a pedal, so that's 7, eventually it would run out of air. And you go, it would run out of, possibly needed a new compressor on it, I don't know. So that's how that works. So I'll let you know what the IMS they are. Good morning to Dr. SOS Gregorian this morning. Loud and proud, that's how we are, loud and proud. Have you got it in the right hole? I don't know. Keith, are you taking calls today? I'd love to talk to you. Well, we weren't going to, Keith, but as you are a huge celebrity type person, I will take a call. So hang on a minute. Let me fire up my call systems, and I'll be with you in a second, Keith. Stay right there, okay? Shania, are you Shania? Shania, are you one of those important people at church, Shania? Oh yeah. Are you one of those people that tell the priest what to do? Oh, Kathy's gone to make her coffee. That's it. The good dog hasn't learned to make the coffee yet. I'm sure you could teach a cat to make some coffee. All right. Shania, don't worry. The phone is on my Ottoman. What's an Ottoman? I don't know what that is. What is an Ottoman? Don't know what that is. Good morning to David Wilson Boyer. Morning, David. Christopher Ireland in the house. Try the auto volume that adjusts the level. I've tried that. I've tried the auto volume. There's a smart volume, it's called. Smart volume. No, it just doesn't work. Just doesn't work. Useless, this blooming sound bar. I've had it for a few years now. Morning, Jason Carter. Wayne Martin is out there. Good morning, Wayne. Here, Vectis is telling his daughter to get out of bed. Come on, chop, chop. Otherwise, she's sending the boys round. Well, if you said that to me, I wouldn't get out of bed, Vectis, to be honest. Naughty me. Morning to John Lauder. Hello, John. Nice to see you, sir. Brian James is in the house. Is it bad that my sister and I had a race to see who could drink the most straight vodka without being sick? Yes, it is, Brian. Not good. Not good, vodka. Some of that sends some people violent, doesn't it? Okay. All right, phone line open now. There you go, Keith. If you want to call in, I'll stick the phone number up there. Phone line open. Keith, we might get Keith George. He's an entertainer over in the States at the moment. There you go, Keith. 0208 144 3477. If you're outside of the UK, dial 0044 8144 3477. I'm sure that's right. 0044 8144 3477. I think that's right. 0044. No, 0044 20 8144 3477. I think that's right. 0044 02 8144 3477. That should get through to me, Keith. Or Skype in. Skype in is United Kingdom Talk. So yeah, you get on one of those if it works, all right? Kathy seems to know Keith George. That's nice, isn't it? Brian says he won at the vodka. Oh, no. And he says he's never going to drink again. I'm sure that's a lie. All these people say that, don't they? Oh, I'm never going to drink again. And they do. They get even more drunk than they did last time, don't they? Shocking. Absolutely shocking. JP says, I did tell Nick you weren't happy with him. What, do you think he changed his show, especially for me? I like the sound of that. It was much more humorous, so much more funny. He has some damn good calls on there. He really does. There was one bloke on there a couple of weeks, I think it was last week, and he came to him. I think the poor bloke had been waiting about an hour to have his call taken, and he ended up falling. He was asleep. He was snoring asleep. How funny is that? All right, let's go over to Beverly Hills in the USA. Keith is on the line. Good morning, Keith.
Oh, hello, Chris. How are you?
Oh, how wonderful to be speaking to Beverly Hills. I aspire. Are you buying property there, lovey?
No, I am not buying property here. It's the week before the Oscars, Chris.
Oh, you're going to the
So
Oscars?
I'm presenting an award.
Presenting or receiving?
Presenting. I
Oh.
received an award last week.
Oh my God. At the Oscars, will you actually be on the television on BBC One Colour or something like that?
Yes, I will. I mean, they did ask me to present an award at the Boys Award next week, but I said, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I
dear.
won't be in the country for that.
Dear. I wonder who's going to win all those certificates this year. Isn't
Well, I wonder who's advertised the most, I suppose.
I think, do you know Jason Prince? I think he's over there at the moment with some bloke called Ollie.
Yeah, he's signed the deal, hasn't he? Which is great, a record deal. So that's great. I think he's in New York.
Oh, right. Oh, is he? Okay. You might be right. I thought he was in Hollywood.
I think he might be in New York. Yeah.
Okay. And he's with, is it Ollie or someone?
I don't know. I saw that he'd got a contract, but then also I saw the other day that he was with his mum and dad because his mum hadn't been too well. So unless he's arrived the last couple of days, I'm not too sure. But you know what, Chris? I clicked on your thing and I thought, I've got to speak to you. And it's lovely to see you because obviously there's a big time difference here. We're 8 hours behind. So I'm just getting ready for bed. So
what time?
I'm in my pyjamas. I've got to that age now, Chris, I started wearing pyjamas.
Oh, no, I can't be having wearing anything in bed. I am completely naked in bed. Keith, I just want you to close your eyes and imagine that.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about
you naked in bed?
Me naked in bed, yeah. Is that...
Well, I've experienced it, haven't I? I've experienced it. So
have you? When was that?
And what?
When was that? When have you experienced me naked in bed? Answer, never.
I'll send you the photos.
Oh, blimey. Well,
so the reason I wear pyjamas now, I tell you why. As you know, I fly here, there and everywhere. And I'm always in this. I don't mean this in a sexual manner, but I'm always in a different bed. Yeah. So one night I might be in Newcastle, the next night I might be in Scotland, and I noticed that some of the beds that I slept in, I had to go to reception saying, "Can you remake this bed because it's not clean?"
Oh,
no! I'm going to buy pajamas. You see,
not clean in the bed. What, like in stains and? Oh my God! Even worse than a stain. Curly hair. Oh no, Keith, would you just tell the people that the one or two people that don't know, and I quote, who you are? Would you like to tell us what you do?
I'm mostly known for impersonating Boy George, but I do other stuff as well. So, I'm quite well known as well for owning property.
And a property tycoon. Are you actually doing a show out there as well? You must be.
No.
Oh, no, okay.
I'm not. I'm here for a. I've just been in Mexico as well. I don't know if you've been watching.
Mexico. Hungry. Eager.
I was at an award ceremony last week, and I got a Lifetime Achievement Award for my show, The Boy George Experience.
Right. Yes.
Which was very, very nice.
Excellent.
And, I thought to myself, a lifetime achievement, and then I did that all the years, Chris. I'm into my 29th year of doing it.
Yeah, and you look so much older, isn't it funny? Yeah, that's a lie, actually. I wanted to ask you, is there some sort of camera filter you use or something? Because every time I look at a new photo of you, you appear to have looked a little bit younger. How are you managing to do that, lovey?
Well, I'm sober. I've not drank any alcohol for over a year. I've followed in your footsteps with regards to cutting out meats.
Are you vegetarian now?
I'm not vegetarian, but I don't eat red meat, and I'm sort of getting off of the chicken and the turkey. I do like fish, but while I was away in Mexico, I was looking for fish tacos, and I couldn't find them anywhere. So I haven't had any fish, but I went to a restaurant today, and I often love going to Beverly Hills into the Ivy, but every time I go there, I need to get to the toilet quickly afterwards, so I'm not going back there, Chris.
I hope you carry around some portable wet wipes, dear.
Chris, it is I tell you what, it is. I've noticed it, and I don't. Sometimes maybe you think, oh, it's psychological. You're just waiting for it to happen, but no, it's and I thought no, and just there's something in one of the ingredients that does not agree with me because I've been there quite a few times, and every time the same thing happens, so I can't go back there. And it's $300, Chris.
$300 for a blooming dinner?
All right, it is tax deductible because I use my business account because we had a business lunch. But I want to enjoy it. I think no, I've got a dash. I say, got a dash. I get to the nearest toilet.
I couldn't go. I would not feel happy. I would not enjoy a meal if I knew I was going to get a bill for $300 blooming afterward, 280 quid for one dinner.
Oh no, it was for three of us. I paid for three of us.
Oh, £100 each for dinner? No, I'm sorry. Maximum amount to spend on a going out dinner? £10. Thank you very much. Even
well, you'd love Mexico.
Mexico, is it like that there?
Yeah, you'd love it.
I do like an all-you-can-eat buffet. I like those.
Oh no, they don't exist. You can go to a really good restaurant and eat a lovely three-course meal,
right,
for about 15 quid.
Is that all? Oh, well, that sounds lovely. All right. Yeah, that sounds a little bit more like me. You know me, cheap.
Yeah.
How long are you there for, Keith?
I leave on Thursday.
Right.
But I'm not going back to England or Tenerife. I'm going on somewhere else, and I'm not going to say where it is in a minute because I want it to be a bit of a. Not a lot of people know where I'm going next, and I like to keep it that way.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. What in case?
I'll message you. And I'll let you know. But keep an eye on. So Thursday I'm flying off somewhere else.
Is that in case there are jealous people who want to attack you after your success?
No. I just don't want people to like Facebook. I used to be on it all the time, and I think now people use it as a weapon, like you said. And that's why I wanted to speak to you, because people that haven't quite settled in their life when they're 40s do try to make it difficult for other people.
Oh yes,
do you know what I mean? And that is so much definitely in our industry, Chris. And I've noticed that. Seriously, obviously, over the years and that, but we're a little bit older now than not mentally. We're not, like you said yourself earlier, and you said sometimes you're way up there and then you're a little bit down, but never ever depressed.
No.
That is a form of instability. I do that myself. I get there myself. I don't get depressed, but I do come down. To a level from an eye. You know how it is. So I think that we have got a condition, but we deal with it and we live with it.
Yes.
Rather than go to the doctor and take tablets, because I won't.
Oh no, I've never taken tablets. I saw the psychiatrist about 2 years ago for depression, and I didn't have any pills or anything like that. I just went to see her for about 9 months, and basically she sat there and listened. And there's so few people that you can ring up and they will listen to your problems. I often found there were several people, you try and tell them whatever you were trying to tell them, but they would keep coming in all the time. And you with something completely different. And you think, are you actually listening to me?
Yeah.
The times I've spoken to people like that on the phone, and you're trying to have this conversation, and then you hear them try and come in, like, and you think, no, I'll finish what I'm saying. And then you get to the end of what you were saying, and then they come back with their own agenda. And you think, well, why did I even bother to ring you up? People don't listen.
Exactly.
People don't listen.
I mean, I went to see a psychiatrist. I'm not ashamed to say, but I had to walk out because I don't know what she thought was the matter with me, because she put a tennis ball in front of me and she said, would you like to peel that? So I said, well, you peel it and we'll have our feet. I said, what do you think I am? I said, it's a tennis ball, dear. I got up and walked out. I said, I've been so insulted.
You are mad, aren't you? You worked in Vegas, haven't you? You've worked in Vegas.
Oh yeah, I've been in Vegas. In fact, I was offered something to start in Vegas this year, but I've had to turn it down. And what a thing to say! I mean, I've had to turn it down because I've got other commitments.
Yeah, but I get that.
And in this thing, you've got to look at both sides of it and weigh up. Yes, it is a dream to of mine to perform in Vegas, but also you've got to look at the long term rather than the short term. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it'd be great. But what about this though? What about you've always got to look at the long rather than the short term. So I said no. I said it's very, very kind. I said, but I do have commitments. But I will be available this time next year if you're interested. I said, but I need to know soon because obviously I get quite booked up in advance.
Do you think you get a little bit too comfortable, Keith? Because I was in that sort of stream, sort of in that sort of scenario a few times when I was DJing at the Black Cap. I suppose I was about 3 years into my long time there, and this woman come up to me. I didn't know who she was. She said, have you ever done radio? And I'm like, no. She said, have you ever been interested in doing it? I said, well, I had a little pirate station. This is before internet, and anyone can go on the internet now and do their own radio show. It's relatively easy to do that. And I'm like, no, I haven't. I had a pirate. Oh, she said, did you? She said, oh, would you like to come up to, now, where was it? Luton, what's that area? Luton, Milton Keynes,
Luton,
Buckinghamshire,
Bedfordshire,
Bedfordshire. BBC Radio.
Bedfordshire,
would you like to come up to Bedfordshire? She said, I work at BBC Radio Bedfordshire, and I'd love you to come up and we can make a demo tape because I want to hear what you've got to say. She says, because I was a talking DJ at the time. And I said, oh, right, okay. I said, and she gave me her number and I never rang it. It. And then years later, I thought, I wonder. And I went on the BBC Bedfordshire site, had a little look on there, and she was like the mid-morning presenter. And I thought, oh my God, that's
Did she
her.
message you?
And you're like, why didn't I ring that? Of
Yeah,
course.
I know.
Of course, I could have gone up there, done something, and it might not have worked. By then, you've taken yourself out of your comfort zone, and you can't go back there now because someone else has got it. So there's that side of it as well, and that's. I think that's what may have stopped me going for anything else. That very comfortable job that I had, not only in the Black Cap, but in the Belushi's brand as well. I was very, very happy in the Black Cap. Very, very happy in Belushi's. Two big jobs that, if you're looking at money, both paid very good money, although I was never really led by money. But I was worried about losing those if I'd have gone for something else. Is that the same for you?
Well, no. What happened was they offered me, and it would be a minimum of 6 months, which could extend. But I said to them, I thought about it. I did think about it. All my friends, I was saying to me, this is your dream, this is what you want to do. I said, yeah, but I've also got Butlins, Pontins, Haven, and all these other companies that employ me year in, year out, and very lucrative. Do you know what I mean? And I said, well, say if I do give it up, and say if it is only for 6 months, but then I go back and then what's there? I said, so, and also it's too short a notice. And actually, Chris, it wasn't offered to me. I wasn't first choice. Someone had to be replaced, and they wanted to replace them with me.
Yes.
So, and also for that, if you're not first choice, I feel that you just wait to the right moment. So that's what
I get
done.
that.
I sort of waited.
I get that.
So I don't want to, I don't need to. I'm flattered to have that put on the table and to be offered to me, but it was really short notice. It means, I got the offer on the 3rd of February of this month to start on the 23rd. And I just thought too many people being let down by me, and me, Chris.
Yeah, I'd be the same. I'd be exactly the same. I'm terrible one for worrying about being late. I get to work usually ages before I'm due to start, simply because I worry about the traffic. Now, for example, Friday night last week was the worst journey in I've ever had. Going for, and I've said this so many times to people who are with us regularly will know this, to travel from Bracknell to King's Cross on a Friday night, last week, 2.25 hours, 35 miles. No. Absolutely ridiculous. To travel from Lincolnshire to King's Cross takes 3.5, and that's 140 miles. It's going from west to north. It's a real problem. And I worry, so I leave far too early. Now, consequently last Monday, I leave for starting at 7:30. I want to be there at 6:30. Yeah, an hour before. Set up. something might go wrong. I've got time to sort it out, right? So I leave my house last week, 4:30, will blow me down. I'm there at 5 to 6. And unfortunately, because of the bloody parking things, you can't get out of that car until 6:30. So then you've got to park up somewhere away from a spying camera, that might take a picture, and literally sit in the car and wait for 6:30 to come. You can't get out, you see. But if I left at 5, what if it then takes me 2 hours to get there? Then I'm going to be late, so I have to leave early. Yeah. And that's all to do.
My watch that I have, and all the clocks in my house, 20 minutes fast.
Yeah, I've got my living room clocks fast.
I can't be late either.
But I'm the same as you. I do not
for planes and all that,
Don't like letting people down. Hate letting people down. Iya, you're not flying with BMI, are you? They've gone bust.
Well, no. I know.
Dreadful.
They've gone bust.
Dreadful.
I know, but they've been in trouble for a long time, though.
Yeah, I just, whenever you heard the name BMI, I thought, well, what are they? Are they like a Ryanair or something like that? Yeah. I'll tell you what, Keith, talking of Ryanair, I've got to go to Cyprus next month sometime. I've been trying to do this blooming holiday, and I thought it would be a cheap holiday, and it's turning not into. It's more of a mid-range. I classed it in the same sort of price bracket: Spain, Portugal, France, somewhere like that. No, it's not. It's up. It's up quite a lot.
Where are you going? Paphos or
no,
Limassol?
Begins with double L. What did you say?
Limassol.
Limassol, that's it, Limassol. Yeah. So my niece is living near Limassol, or she'll be moving out there in a couple of weeks' time. With her husband, because they got a job there. And I've been trying to work this out, and I did it online. Oh, Christ, the mucking around there was. And I had to take it round to Ronnie's other half's house, because he does holidays and all that. They go on loads of holidays, so they understand all this. And it got to the flight, and it was Ryanair. Oh, God, no. I only ever won on one.
Airways, dear.
Airways. Exactly. I only ever won on one Ryanair flight. That was years and years ago when I was working for that delightful man, Eric, who you worked for as well for a while. But that was on the ski.
I was on the same flight with you. I was on the same flight.
Was you there? When I was there with my boxes of CDs.
When forgot her passport.
No. I think that was another one. I think that was the one after
Ryanair.
that. But yeah, with the Ryanair one. So I had these 2 cases of CDs. And they said, well, we're going to charge you for those. And I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean charge them? Well, that's not included in the weight. And so then I opened the box and I started putting all the CDs in my pockets. She said, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm trying to make it weigh less so it doesn't cost as much. And she kind of shook her, and it was the day after St. Patrick's night. So they'd obviously all been out getting drunk, right? Yeah. So she shook her head and she said, oh, just close the case and put it on there. So I did, and it went through, and I didn't pay any more. But so I was trying to book this holiday, and I showed Ronnie's other half the website, and it said flight Ryanair £0, right?
Oh.
And I'm like, well, how comes the flight is free? I don't get that. And he said to me, well, did you add the luggage? And I'm like, what do you mean add the luggage? He said, well, you got to add the luggage. I said, well, I've never had to do that before. He said, that's because you fly business. You just turn up with your cases and give them to them. There you go. Don't matter what they weigh. I mean, there is a limit, but generally, if you're over that, they're not bothered. You've paid a fortune to be on there. And I'm like, well, how much is that then? He said, well, how many bags do you want to check in? I said, well, I don't know. He said, well, one bag is £30. £30 to take a bag of clothes? And he said, well, just take your hand luggage. I said, well, how big can that be? He said, 5 kilos. I said, well, how many things is that? He said, it's a small hold-all. £30 to take a bag. I've never had anything like it. And then as he's going through it, there's these other additional. Are you printing out the boarding pass? I said, well, of course I am. He said, well, that's an extra £3. What? Jesus. And I thought, what? And it's just, Keith, it's. To be honest, it's not even so much the extra £30 or the it's going through this list. What a lot of mucking around. I can walk into Thomas Cook, tell him I want to go to Limassol, and say, I want to fly British Airways, What do? She will give me a little leaflet. Everything will be sorted. I turn up with my bags, put them on the trolley, push a button, off they go. There you go, get on board. What? And you get a cup of tea and a coffee.
How many Avios have you got, Chris?
Avios. Oh, I don't understand how that works. I know I've got quite a few. Would you like me to tell you?
Well, book a flight with them, dear.
What, Avios?
Yes, book a flight with them. Log into your account. That's how many Avios you got. To get to Limassol, I'm guessing it would be 10,000 each way. In business class, 20,000 each way.
Hang on
so
a
I'm
minute.
sure with all the amount of flying you've done.
Oh, I haven't done that much.
40,
I haven't done that. I haven't done that much flying. Not really. Not
yes,
recently. Not recently. I haven't.
You flew. You have. You went to business class to
Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Yeah.
That's 50,000 straight away.
Is it? Right. Hang on. Let me log in. I'm just logging in now, and I'll tell you.
Log in, dear.
Logging into the system. Please hold while we try and connect you. Your call is important to us, and you will be reconnected to a customer services operator as soon as one becomes available. Okay, my Avios, 24,664.
Right. Well, that's a return in normal class. So go on rewards flight, book a flight using Avios. Put in your thing I think you'll pay something like £34 return.
Oh, is that all?
£17. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So have a look at it and see what it is. But I think that Cyprus is in the same territory as
Greece,
as Tenerife, and it's 10,000 Avios each way.
Oh, okay.
20. Yeah. So you'll get that cheap enough, and that includes your bags as well.
Is it better for me to book the flight with BA and then book a hotel? Or should I go to Thomas Cook and get them to... That's what I normally do. I walk into Thomas Cook. I said, I want to do this, and this. Please sort it out.
Well, you can ask your niece or where she's going to be staying, and if they can recommend an hotel nearby. Go on booking.com and have a look.
Right,
look. But you're better off with British Airways, as you know.
Yeah.
Are you silver with them?
I don't know.
Oh, well, well, if you can get into business class, or you can't, if you can, but then you'll get into the lounge and all that.
Yeah. I'll probably do that. It's just I find it incredibly complicated booking holidays and things like that. I really do. But I could find out the British Airways flight prices, and then I could go into Thomas Cook and say, right, these are the flight prices, because I did that with I did that with Vegas. We tried 2 different dates. And the first date was coming out like £10,000. I mean, who can spend that on a 2-week holiday? Just without anything else, £10,000. And I dismissed the idea of even going. And then I just happened to be in the gym, and there was a bloke in there. I was telling him about this, and he said, "Oh, have you tried any other dates?" I said, "Well, not really. Why?" He said, "Oh, my wife works on British Airways, and she says this is quite a normal thing. You need to try several different dates." And the next date I tried was £3,000. 3 from 10.
I know.
What a difference! And that included the flights, the hotel, everything. So it just goes to show you, doesn't it, to try different dates, Keith?
I know.
When's your awards? Is that tonight?
No, mate, no. The Oscars is on Sunday.
Right. So what are you doing with yourself tomorrow? Because it's night. You're about to go to bed, aren't you?
It's 1:45 in the morning here. So tomorrow I'm going to a theme park.
Oh, right. All right. What one's that?
Knott's Farm.
Knott's Farm. Don't know that. What is that one all about?
It's one of the older ones. And it's got the old roller coaster on it with the wooden one, you know? Do you remember Margate?
Oh, they're clanky old things. They're very noisy. Yeah.
Love them. Yeah.
I won't go on a roller coaster.
And I want to scare the life out of them. Because they don't know what to expect. So I'm going to scare the life out of them.
Do you like it when people get scared? Do you like it when you're on a plane and there's a bit of turbulence and women start screaming their heads off? I love it.
Yeah.
All part of the fun, dear.
Yeah. I don't like it when you've got children running up and down, though.
No, well, we don't get that, do we?
Through the curtain. And they're running through the curtain, and the mother... I said, I didn't realise we have a creche.
A creche, or a little sort of area at the back of the plane that's fenced off for the children. Aren't you awful?
I said to the lady, the stewardess, I was sitting in row 1, and she just didn't take any notice of it, so I pressed my bell.
Yeah.
And she's sitting right opposite me. She said, "Oh, did you want something?" I said, "Yeah, the child's running up and down." I said, "It's disturbing me." She said, "What do you want me to do?"
Yes.
I said, well, are you
Lock 'em
allowed?
up.
I said, are you allowed to pick it up and put it in the overhead locker? She went, no. I said, well, I don't know then. I don't know what you're supposed to do. I said, but it's very annoying, and you're just sitting there playing on your Candy Crush.
Candy Crush.
And she had ladders in her tights.
Oh, how awful. What
I
airline
know.
was that on, dear? I can't believe that was British Airways. No.
British Airways.
They've gone down, dear. They've gone down the hill, haven't they?
Yeah. I don't care anymore.
No. No one cares. No one cares.
You know what they're doing now? They're doing paying not very good wages to mixed fleet. They're called mixed fleet. You've got long haul, short haul, but now you've got mixed fleet. And these people who are on mixed fleet are on 0-hour contracts. And very, very little. So now they're trying to get rid of all the long ones. More and more routes are becoming mixed fleet routes. In the end, there will be it will just be mixed fleet. Now, these people that are on the old contracts, they call them the dragons. But she was a dragon, you see.
Right.
She didn't care.
Care.
She'd been there 40 years. She didn't care.
Some of them have been here a very long time, those British Airways people.
One of the guys kept bumping his head on the overhead locker when he was serving the drinks and everything like that. So I said jokingly, he said, I keep forgetting that stair. So I said to him, is it your first day? Jokingly, as we are, we've got a sense of humour. No, actually, I'm overqualified to be on this flight. And he went on and on and on and on and on about how overqualified he was to be on that particular flight.
All right, you awful Keith. Right, I'm going to have to go, darling, all right?
Lovely to chat to you. I'll speak to you soon. And when I'm in the area, which I will be, because I'm coming to do a show in Bracknell.
Where? Southfield Park?
No, in a hotel down there, and but it's not until September. But when I'm around, I'll speak to you offline anyway.
Would that be?
Keep up the good work. Always happy to see you on there. And I know we don't speak a lot, but I always think of you. And I hope you had a lovely birthday the other day.
Thank you very much, Keith.
You look good. You don't look old, mate. You look good for
your
age.
I do.
You're always the same.
You haven't seen me when
it's aged at all. I'm sure your listeners would agree with me. And that jacket's lovely you've got on.
It's the lighting,
very, very
dear.
nice.
It's the lighting.
Is it? Well, I tell you once you use that lighting, Jimmy Smith. Anyway, I'll see you later.
Cheerio, Keith. Bye-bye now.
Bye, dear. Bye.
Lovely. Keith calling in from Beverly Hills in the US of A. That was good, wasn't it? Call from all the way over there. Some of your messages coming in here. Where did we get to now? Kathy was saying good morning to Keith there. There we are. Ray Reynolds, an ottoman is a storage place. I didn't know that. To keep sheets, blankets and duvets, sometimes at the bottom of the bed with a lid, and can be used as a seat. I didn't know that. Ray. You've taught me something this morning. Ray is a fountain of all knowledge of everything. He knows everything. I know. I mean that. He's very good at that sort of thing. Wayne says Keith has never aged. No, he hasn't. Isn't that funny? Not a single line on his face. I don't know how he does that. Thank you for the call, Keith. It's lovely to talk to you. Good morning to Adrian Richardson. Good morning. Wayne likes to point out that I took him to a harvester once. I was only allowed food from the 2 for £10 menu. Absolutely. We don't waste money on food, dear. I have to keep having a go at my mate. When he comes round here for lunch, he leaves food on the plate. There must have been half a tin of baked beans on his plate yesterday. Half a tin. And that's my fault for letting him do them. Because usually I only give him half a tin now. He's put the whole bloody tin in. Half of it's wasted. I think it's disgusting wasting food. I really do. Absolutely disgusting. Vectis, are you still talking? Apparently so, yes. I can talk for hours, Vectis. You know that. You know that. Man of your wealth, £10,000 is small change. You're having a laugh, aren't you now? £10,000? I said, look, if I went for a night out, Vectis, and I spent 20 quid, I'd be really upset. I'd probably be upset if I spent £10 on a night out. Absolutely. Coca-Cola is now over £2 a pint. Can you believe that? Because I don't drink. I'd only be sitting there with Coca. I can make half a glass of Coca-Cola last 4 hours. You've got to come out with me, Vectis. It's such a cheap night out. It really is. Thank you. Kathy enjoyed that phone call. Thank you, Kathy. Good morning to Martin Edwards, joining us there on the Facebook as well. let's just scroll up on the Motto-tastic. Send us a photograph of yourself and then I'll decide whether or not. Paul, could you deal with that one, please? Thank you, Paul. I could be doing a mid-morning garden phone-in. A mid-morning garden phone-in. I don't know about that. Let we have a look. And I'm just trying to scroll up a little bit here. Hang on a minute. I think you're talking to each other there. Oh, right up there. Sorry. Let's have a look there. Paul and Lou are talking about the ISIS girl. Should she be allowed back in? Absolutely not. No. I tell you what I find strange about that whole girl, the ISIS girl, isn't she? She's had her baby now. Don't see that should make any difference at all. I'm sorry. You may think that's being hard-hearted, but the same people that are saying, oh, she was only a little girl when she left and all this business, they're the same people that say children should have votes. Children should have votes. Well, which is it? Are they intelligent to know what they're doing or not? Make your mind up. Them bloody liberals, dear. Get on my nerves. Where are we now? Robert Lunn. A very good morning to you, Robert. Welcome, Robert. When are you back in Lincolnshire International? Not until April. Not until April, my friend. And it's a shame, really, because the weather is particularly good at the moment. So I wouldn't even... The caravan would be quite nice and warm and toasty with only a little bit of heat on. Whereas in the winter, you've got to fire everything up to try and keep that warm. And it does work. It does work. Where are we going now? I'm trying to find something interesting there. Let me have a look here. Listen, that's it. There we are. I think we're down the end there. That's it. Vector says, I will pay for the drink. You can pay for the food. No, because I don't drink. That's why. Blimey. Now, we need to give this little monkey a name. I want to give this little monkey a name, and I've got something to talk about Victoria Beckham before we go today. Monkey name. We were talking about this on the show last night. We did a late night show yesterday. Oh, any texts coming in this morning? No texts. I haven't heard from Maureen this morning. I hope she's all right. Maureen, if you're with us this morning, I hope you've recovered a little bit. Don't forget, if you're not well, do not force yourself to come out, my darling. You take it easy at home. I know Maureen is another person who feels that she has to be there at certain times. Please, take it easy. If you're not well, take it easy, darling, all right? Good morning to Jeannie Bolia, just joining us there this morning. Right, so we were talking about the monkey last night. I've got 3 names for you to choose from. Tom, Jack, or George. Name the monkey. Tom, Jack, or George. I have all 3 names written down there. Tell me what name you prefer. Tom, and all you need to put is one name there, and I'll count them up, and we'll go with whatever name gets the most votes, okay? So lots of names were thrown at me last night. I've chosen those 3. Tom, Jack, or George. What should be the name of our little monkey there? Righty-ho. Victoria Beckham. Victoria Beckham. Not one of the happiest people in the world, is she, Victoria Beckham? But she does this fashion thing. Now, I remember seeing in the one of the news sites a couple of weeks ago that her fashion industry isn't doing too well. Her fashion stuff, I think David Beckham's had to bail her out a few times, which is probably easy for him with his millions. But in the Daily Mail I spotted last night, it says, she made her London Fashion Week debut with her namesake label last year after 10 years in the fashion industry. And Victoria Beckham made a triumphant return as she took to the catwalk for her Autumn-Winter 2019 collection showcase held at the Tate Britain in London on Sunday. Any Americans listening, you know the Tate Gallery? It's not Tate Gallery. It's Tate Gallery. When I used to work at British Telecom on director inquiries years and years ago when I was about 18. We often had the Americans ring up and they would say, can I have the number of the Tate Gallery? No, it's the Tate Gallery. Tategalery. Tate Gallery, all right? She turned out in force. Her family turned out to support the 44-year-old designer. David was there as well and all her children. And there's pictures of her clothes and all that telling us what she wore, and a picture of the whole family all sitting there, all happy together. I must say, there's the picture of her family. Who's the older boy? Is that Brooklyn? He looks bored to tears. He looks absolutely bored to tears sitting there. And he's dressed, I don't know, some strange clothes these fashion people wear. So, Brooklyn Beckham, you'd expect him to be wearing, I don't know, some sort of T-shirt, maybe some sort of tracksuit at that age. No, he's got these trousers on with braces and a jacket and a flat cap. And I don't know, it just doesn't look right to me, but it's up to him, of course. Young people like to wear what they want to wear. They're making fashion stuff. I've never really been into fashion myself, but there we are. And they're all sitting there. There's David. David looks happy. He looks quite good. And the little girl sitting next to him, I don't know who the little girl is. Have they got a little girl as well? Have they? And 3 boys. There's a boy there's 2 girls. There's a girl sitting next to Brooklyn, and in Brooklyn, Beckham is holding her hand. Then there's another little boy in a white T-shirt. Another boy who looks... I don't know who's who here. I don't know if it's in one family or what. And some woman with dark glasses sitting next to him. I don't think that's Victoria Beckham. Don't know who she is. But anyway, they're all sitting there. Well, he's bored to tears. And they're doing this fashion show. Now, I had heard that her fashion thing was in a little bit of difficulty last year. So I looked this up. After I saw this story, I looked up Victoria Beckham collections. And quite frankly, I'm not surprised that it's in trouble. Some of the prices she charges for her stuff are quite astounding. There's a T-shirt. There's a T-shirt that she's selling, and all it is a white T-shirt with the print on there and the word smile. SMILE in red. Okay? T-shirt doesn't look anything special, just an average T-shirt. You probably buy from Marks and Spencer's, send it off to someone and have smile printed on him. But how much is she charging for one of those? A T-shirt with the word smile written on it. £115 for one T-shirt. Are you for real, dear? Are you absolutely for real? £115 for a T-shirt. I know that is just astounding, isn't it? It really is. She's got shoes. She does shoes as well. There's a pair of shoes there. A pair of red shoes. They look all right. And it says it's a Harper slipper. Now, this shoe isn't particularly big. It does look like a slipper, but it looks like a slipper that you would wear outside. How much for a pair of Harper slippers? Any idea? £495 for a pair of slippers. And it goes on. There's a pair of blue trousers here. They look all right. Nothing special. They got like splits at the front. A split that goes, I suppose, just to the top of the foot, so that exposes the foot. I mean, you'd get cold feet for a start, wouldn't you, in the winter with something like that? It's like these lads that walk around with no socks on. Well, haven't you got any socks on? You'll get cold little tootsies. And their ankles are all showing, getting frozen outside. Not in this weather, mind. So she's got these trousers here, blue colour, quite nice. Front split skinny trouser, they're called. £575. £5,000. So I think I know what the problem is, Vicky, baby. You're just a little bit too expensive for normal people like me and my millions of viewers all over the world. How is anyone going to afford a pair of trousers? £595? Sorry? God's sake, man. Or woman. There's the Victoria Beckham problem. Right, let's see what you're asking for. Good morning to Perry Hazel. Good morning, Perry. Jack. Okay, we got one for Jack. Who is it? Katie says Jack. Diane says Jack. Adrian says Jack. Shania says Jack. Michael, everyone's going for Jack. Michael says Jack. Good morning to Dino Klein. Good morning, Dino. Oh, well, everyone's going for the name Jack. Got a monkey here. This is my monkey. This is who I sleep with. Okay, I want a name for it. Your choices are Tom, Jack, or George. One of those names. At the moment, every single person has gone for the name Jack. What do you think he should be called? Paul and Lou are saying George. Thank you, Paul and Lou. John says Tom. Thank you. John says Tom. JP says John. Tom. Joanna says George. Robert says George. George coming up from the rear there. George is coming up on the rear. Yes. Okay. Any other names there? Get your results in now. Kathy says Tom. Okay. That's everyone so far, is it? What do you think should be the name of our lovely monkey that resides behind me this morning? Get your votes in, boys and girls. We'll do one more story then on the show today. Here's an idea for you. Chaps, are you thinking about asking someone to marry you? Or maybe the ladies, I don't know. Ladies probably ask men to marry them as well now. Well, in the Daily Mirror this morning, an excellent idea. It says, while most men spend hours pondering over the perfect engagement ring before popping the question, this bloke, John Elliott, took a slightly different approach. 27-year-old, he decided to hire a ring from a complete stranger to use as part of the romantic proposal he has planned for his girlfriend Ashley. Oh, you've moved over there a bit, have you? Come over here. There we are. He splashed out £50 to use Jenny Parker's £7,000 engagement ring after listing the unusual request for rings online. The unusual idea came about because John wanted Ashley to choose her own ring but didn't want to propose without one. The recruiter, who lives in Balham, Gateway to the South. Have you seen that? Balham, Gateway to the South. Oh, that's an excellent film. Black and white film it is. It's about these American tourists who come to London and they book into this old bed and breakfast. Oh, great film that. I'm sure some of you have seen that. The recruiter, who lives in Balham, said, I wanted Ashley to pick the exact ring she wanted. And this was the only way to propose without her knowing it was happening. Well, I hope she didn't choose the £7,000 ring. That's a big mistake, mate, that is. Imagine giving a lady a £7,000 ring and saying, this one isn't yours, but I want you to choose one. Well, she's going to choose one that's just like that, isn't she? Oh, no, dear. I would have gone to Argos. Go to Argos and borrow one of theirs. Take it back. It doesn't fit properly. It says, for the photos, I wanted it to be the calibre of ring she deserves. She said yes when he asked her to marry him. John listed the ring request on Fat Llama, a website for lending and borrowing all different sorts of items. Or maybe I could put myself on there. Someone might want to lend or borrow me, would you think? He admits Ashley was a bit sad when she realised she couldn't keep the stunning ring, but says she now knows the kind of ring she wants. He said she loved the ring. She was a little sad it was only for the evening, but ultimately it gave her a better idea of what she was looking for. So I don't know. I mean, is that a good idea or not? Jenny was given the ring by her grandmother, this is in the Daily Mirror this morning, after her own marriage ended. She said, I love the fact that the ring is a piece of family history. For 8 years, it has sparkled on my finger, reminding me that I deserve good things. So there's an idea, chaps. If you don't want to spend out the money, all right, you can go and borrow a ring from someone else. No jewellery on my fingers. I don't have jewellery. I can't see the point of putting expensive bits of metal on there. You know, you could be walking through, I don't know, Salford up north or Hackney or Glasgow. Someone to see that thing sparkling on your ring. They won't think twice about cutting your finger off if they can't get it off, dear. Or a knife comes at your throat or something like that. One of my friends was mugged at the weekend. Brixton he was. That's not his name, the area. George Sharp Mitchell. He's a very accomplished DJ and remixer. And he was mugged at the weekend, lost his mobile phone and a bit of cash while he was walking through Brixton. Terrible, isn't it? The world that we live in now. It really is. Okay, time for Name the Monkey. Paul and Lou says, I know the problem with Victoria Beckham. She's got the decimal point in the wrong place on her prices. Oh, she absolutely has. Very, very expensive, those clothes. Okay, where did we get to? Kathy, I think we got as far as... Kathy did say Tom. Kathy said Tom. And now, yeah, that's Kathy there. Adrian says Tom. You can't have two goes, Adrian. Are you taking the mick, dear? You've had your go. Don't take the mick. Outrageous. Tom Jack. Martin Edwards says George. Oh, George is coming up now from the rear. Pardon? Jenna. Morning, Chris from Atlanta. Good morning, Atlanta. Georgia. Jaina, yes, Barry Manilow, number 1, and so are you. Yes, we've got the birthdays coming at a moment. Vectis says, call it Humpty. No, we're not calling it Humpty. Humpty was not on the list. Is that why you haven't, do you get into trouble at the radio station sometimes? Do you? Because they've said, right, here is the list of records you want to play, and you pull out different ones. Do you do that? I reckon you do that, Humpty. And then you say, oh, I must have got the numbers wrong. Is that you? I'm sure it is. No, that's not on the list, Humpty. Now, please behave. Your daughter behaves herself. Why can't you? How was your show yesterday? Did you have any time for music at all, or did you just talk for the entire show? Katie says she needs a lawnmower. I will let you. A lawnmower. Right, so here we go. Let's toss up the scores. And we've got 6 for Jack, 4 for George, and 2 for Tom. So, his name is Jack. Jack the Monkey. I love it. Jack the Monkey is an excellent name. Thank you very much for that. And we'll be happy with that. Jack the Monkey is the name. All righty, let's do today's birthdays, boys and girls. Happy birthday on this... It's Monday, isn't it? Monday the 18th of February 2019 to Tony Dino Corrigan, a young 59 years old today. Is that a bag of chips? You've got something in front of you there. I can't quite see, the picture's a bit small, but happy birthday to you, Tony. All right. Anita Lyles, a big Barry Manilow fan. She's actually got a picture of Barry Manilow tattooed on her, is it her wrist or her arm, somewhere up there. Happy birthday to you, Anita. Looks like we made it. The Gonzo opening, that's what you want to listen to. For your birthday, you must play the Gonzo opening. And I'm ready to take a chance again. Ready to put my love on the line for you. I love it. Happy birthday, Anita. Big happy birthday to you. 84 years old today, aren't you? Happy birthday, you lovely lady. Austyn Biggers, good morning, Austyn. Happy birthday to you. And Skylar Baker Jordan is a young 33 years old today. Oh, we just got a text in there. I'll come to that in a moment. All right, gang. So happy birthday to all of you today. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, boys and girls. Now, a final text just coming in on the text thing. It's from Maureen, who's not too well. She says, hi, Chris. I'm still not well enough to go to karaoke. I think your monkey should be called Manilow. No, we can't have a monkey called Manilow, but thank you for the suggestions of the names. Our monkey is going to be called Jack. Jack the Monkey. There we go. Thanks ever so much for joining us on the show on this Monday, boys and girls. Hopefully, I will see you again at some point tomorrow. Don't forget, have your little notifications thing set on. I keep meaning to tell you that right at the beginning of the show. If you're on the Facebook, subscribe, or YouTube, subscribe. It's probably a good idea to subscribe to both, because sometimes one of the notifications doesn't happen. I know generally people on YouTube seem to have the problem where a show starts and they just don't know it started because they haven't received the notifications. Of course, it would be better, I suppose, if I did that. If I did the same time every day. The show does tend to be around about 9:30 in the morning, but it can appear at any time. You never know, okay? Because I don't like to tie myself down. Some people do like to tie themselves down, and it's a job that a few of my friends have done for people at enormous fees. Not my sort of thing. Have a lovely day. Now, if you're in London tonight, I'll be hosting karaoke. There it is, at Central Station Bar in Wharfdale Road, King's Cross. All right, Joanne. Wharfdale Road, King's Cross. Starts at 7:30. Monday night karaoke tonight at Central Station Bar, Wharfdale Road, King's Cross, 7:30 until 11 o'clock. Have a nice day, gang, and I'll see you again, hopefully sometime tomorrow. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye-bye now.